As I feared, Mill is squarely and entirely blaming me for the divorce. She made this terrifyingly clear about 2 weeks ago when I received a letter at our apartment. It was from her, handwritten and several pages long. My husband was with me when I opened it, and we were both appalled by its contents. The letter was filled with pure hatred and endless accusations, calling me all sorts of vile names. She accused me of systematically plotting to destroy her marriage from the very first day I met her son. She claimed my fake allergy was my primary tool for manipulating everyone and making her look like a bad person. In one particularly disturbing line, she called me a cuckoo in her nest who had pushed out her own child, referring to my husband taking my side and had now successfully pushed out her husband as well. The letter explicitly stated that her marriage ending was 100% my fault and warned that I would get what I deserve. The entire letter was so unhinged and disturbing that we have decided to keep it just in case we need it for legal reasons in the future, like for a restraining order if her behavior continues to escalate. My husband was disgusted and furious after reading what his mother had written. He called Phil immediately to inform him about the letter, and Phil was not surprised by its contents. He said that Mill has been sending similar messages to him and to other family members in an attempt to poison them against both of us. Phil once again advised us to keep any and all communications from her as evidence. He also mentioned that Mill has flatly refused his offers to pay for therapy for her or for them to intermediation to sort out the divorce. She is apparently demanding that he stop the divorce proceedings immediately and come to his senses. In another escalation, Mill has tried to get to my husband through his place of work. She called his office number multiple times, cried to the receptionist, and claiming there was a family emergency that required her to speak with him urgently. His company has a policy against personal calls, but she was so insistent and sounded so distressed that the receptionist put her through to his line once. My husband was in a meeting at the time, and when he received the message and realized it was her, he had to instruct the receptionist to no longer put her calls through, briefly explaining that it was a difficult personal situation. He was very embarrassed to have this drama spill into his professional life. Some of Mill's relatives, especially her sister and a few of her cousins, have now completely cut ties with my husband. They have sent him messages telling him that he has betrayed his mother by choosing his manipulative wife over his own family, pairing Mill's claims that I am the sole cause of all these problems. It has become clear that Mill has been very effective in her smear campaign among her side of the family. Thankfully, there have been no further acts of physical aggression from Mill since she banged on our door, but her emotional and verbal attacks continue. The atmosphere around our lives is just awful. My husband is grieving the loss of his relationship with his mother and the end of his parents' marriage. Phil is trying to move forward with the divorce and meets with his lawyer regularly. He looks older and deeply sad whenever we see him, but he remains resolute in his decision. He has expressed his regret to us many times for not seeing or addressing Mill's underlying issues sooner. He also continues to feel a lot of guilt for how he initially handled the situation at the party, even though he was acting to protect me. We have repeatedly reassured him that we understand he was in an impossible situation. In a small, sad way, the relationship between my husband and his father has become closer through this shared trauma as they are supporting each other. But the wider family is fractured beyond repair. Family gatherings, which were once at least a tolerable part of our lives, are now completely unthinkable. The damage that Mill has caused first with her attempt to harm me, and then with her subsequent behavior, is deep and widespread.